Okay, so in my islands update for this week from over here in Palma, I'm going to be talking about the strict rules that are in place regarding kids travelling to Spain this summer. Plus, I have an update for you from over at the airport regarding special assistance. And I have a warning for you if you're travelling into Palma this weekend, particularly on the Paseo Maritimo side. And I have the all-important weather forecast for the week ahead. And well, it's looking like good news for many of you coming over here too, and those of you who are on half-term holidays at the moment. But we're going to start this video in a very family-friendly resort of Palma Nova. I'm over here quite frequently, so I'm going to ask you to consider subscribing to the channel for all the very best updates, travel news, travel tips, travel guides and more from over here in Mallorca. So I'm making this video on the back of a comment that I got on the channel just this morning actually from the very lovely Amanda Parry, who said that she's worried about bringing her family on holiday but also taking her daughter's 17-year-old boyfriend as well. She's worried about the whole hotel check-in rules and what documentation he's going to need. So I think we're going to talk about this on a wider level about the whole travel process if you're travelling to Spain with kids, particularly if they're not your own. But first, we're going to take a look at the official source of information. We're going to head on over to the official Spanish government website. They say children under 18 years old who do not travel together with any of their parents or legal guardians must have due authorization from one of their parents or legal guardians. So what does this mean? Well, this summer, if you're traveling on holiday and you're bringing one of your children's friends with you, then do get a letter of authorization from their parent or their legal guardian. Get them to sign it. Make sure you include the dates of travel, where they're going, where they're staying. Include your some kind of identity document number as well, like a passport number. Date it, sign it, and also include an email address and a mobile telephone number as well. Just have all the information on there and give that to the parent, obviously, that that is travelling with your child. And the same goes as well if your child is travelling without their parents, if they're going on their very first holiday with their friends this summer and they're not 18 years old, well, they are going to need an official letter of authorization from you. So once again, make sure you write out that letter, say where they're staying, put all your information on there too, because not all airlines allow children under the age of 18 to travel alone. Now, I'm just going to run down a few airlines here about what the rules are, because they do vary across the airlines. And I'm just looking at the main airlines as well that travel into Mallorca. Of course, we're Mallorca based here, so a little bit of a bias. But looking at, for example, Ryanair and EasyJet, the minimum age of travel where a kid can travel on their own is 16. I have seen as well, interestingly, that TUI and Jet2 do allow children to travel on their own. So TUI between the ages of 14 and 17, they allow kids to travel on their own. Jet2 from the age of 15, you can travel on your own as well. British Airways, the minimum age to travel on your own is 14. Iberia, Lufthansa, Air Europa and Vueling, the minimum age of travel is just 12 years old. But I'm going to ask you to check individually with each of these airlines and make sure that they don't have an official form that you need to fill in before your child travels alone. And they're all going to have different rules as well, so just definitely check before you travel. Just make sure that that you're completely covered before your child travels by themselves. Now, this letter of authorization is going to be required even probably before you leave your country of origin. So when you get to the airport and you are checking in for your holiday with your family and you've got your son or your daughter's friend with you, at the check-in desk, person behind the check-in desk may well ask for this letter of authorization, because of course they're going to be checking the passports. They're going to see that this person doesn't have the same surname as yourselves as well. So make sure that you have got this letter of authorization with you. Also as well, and this is a top tip for all you single parents traveling with your kids this summer, if your son or your daughter's surname does not match your surname on your passport, then make sure you get a letter of authorization from the other parent or legal guardian, and if that's not possible, then bring a copy of their birth certificate. So it's all very well and good that EasyJet and Ryanair will allow children aged 16 plus to travel, but what are the rules about checking into a hotel? So for groups of friends travelling, many hotels have a minimum check-in age of 18. Some may allow 16 or 17-year-olds to check in with a parental consent. Youth hostels or budget accommodations may have more flexible policies, but I recommend checking directly with the hotel you wish to book with to clarify their rules. Okay, so let's pick the camera up. We're going to change our location from over here. I'm just on the far side of Palma Beach. Let's head on down along the beach. I've got some other top tips for you, particularly in regards to entering Spain and heading through passport security. Okay, so let's talk about coming through a passport control if you're travelling with children, or indeed if your child under the age of 18 is travelling to Spain. Over here in Spain, you can't actually use the electronic gates unless you're 18 years and older. So that means if you're coming over here with kids, you need to go to the manual police check booths, and you'll see them as you come in. You will be guided towards them to have your passports physically checked. The same goes as well if you're between the ages of say 16 and 17, you've come in with your friends on the low-cost airline. Don't try and go through those electronic gates. Go and get your passports individually checked. And once again, this is the point where they're going to need that letter of authorization too. So like I said, don't travel without that. Also, with regards to checking into a hotel as well, apart from the fact that many hotels won't let you check in unless you are aged 18 and above, if you are checking into a hotel with a family, so whether you've got your own kids with you or someone else's kids, you still have to declare your relationship with them if they are under 14 years of age. Now, in response to Amanda's question, she needn't worry too much if she's coming over with her daughter's boyfriend, because she just needs to declare her relationship with him and just say that he is travelling with her, but then she will have that letter of authorization with her too. Nobody needs to show credit cards or financial information at the hotel check-in desk, unless of course you're paying for the hotel. I mean, this will probably be paid for in advance, or if you are paying for it there, obviously you're going to have to give over your credit card or your means of payments. But with regards to the hotel check-in rules, which I've been talking about for quite a few months now, the information that the government needs is not going to be financially related. So if you do have someone's child with you, don't worry that they also need to have a credit card with them to check into a hotel. They don't. They're going to be travelling with you. You just have to say your relationship with them. Also, if they're travelling with a group of friends as well, once again, they're going to have to declare what their relationship is with the person that's over 18. And like I said, don't forget that letter of authorization from the parents too. And just to summarise as well, if you are checking in to a hotel over here in Spain, they'll be asking you for your passport. So they'll take the information from your passport, they'll get the most of that. They'll also need like an email address, a home address, maybe a telephone number, and that's going to be basically it. They'll probably ask you for that information before you travel. Look out for those emails, get that filled in before you arrive at your hotel, and you can just get on with your holiday as well to avoid being caught up in a long queue to check in for your room. Okay, my final tip as well, if you're travelling with children this summer, and this is the all-important one, and I should have put this right at the beginning of the video, but check your child's passport before you travel. I did make a video earlier on this year about passports and getting your passport renewed. Check your kids' passports, because don't forget they only have a 5-year validity. This is once again UK based. It's probably the same around Europe as well. So if you are thinking to yourself that your passport expires in maybe 8 years or 7 years, make sure you check your kids, because it could be expiring a lot sooner than you think. Also, make sure you've got 3 months left on the passport from the date that you plan to return back home and you leave Spain from your holiday. If you're going back to the United Kingdom, that's also very important too. But get it checked now in February, because we're only in February. The passport turnaround times are very super quick. We don't know what's going to happen as we head towards the summer. You never know, there might be a strike or something like that. So my advice is, if you need to get your passport renewed, get it done now and then forget about it. Okay, I'm falling into the shade here even more so, and it's actually quite cool. We're going to just go a little bit further down the beach, and I'm going to give you my update about special assistance. Okay, so we've just come along to Son Matias beach here, and it's absolutely impossible to go anywhere on the beach without the hum of building works taking place. I will make an update video from here, so like I said, subscribe to the channel if you want to see what this area looks like at the moment in February. Anyway, I wanted to move on to give you an update about special assistance over at Palma Airport. You may remember last year we talked about it on the videos, we talked about it over on the Mallorca Under the Sun Facebook group, and many of you are very concerned about coming over here on the holiday and booking a special assistance and having that working as it should, in terms of being picked up from landing at the airport in your buggy, being whizzed through the airport, and also getting to the other side, getting your luggage out, and then getting onto your tour bus to go onto your holiday resort. Now, as you are well aware, the airport is undergoing huge renovations for this summer. Now, I am going to be travelling next week. I will make a video update about the changes I can see as we go on through the airport. So watch out for that video. It'll be out mid next week at some point. But I just wanted to update you with regards to what I've tried to do anyway, with regards to special assistance over at the airport. Now, I have collated pretty much most of your comments actually. I've received emails, I've received comments on the Facebook group and the channel. I've put them all into one document and I've translated all those comments as well. So I've sent them to the airport and I've asked them for an interview where I can go over and talk to them about how special assistance will be improved for this summer. So due to the size of the airport, it's no wonder that things maybe didn't quite run as they should. And well, we're probably going to be seeing an increase of tourism as well this year as well. So I really hope that they've taken my email seriously. I will chase it up. I haven't heard anything. It has been a while, but I will chase it up and hopefully I will get a response from the airport and I'll go out and see them and I'll let you know what they say. Okay, so just to switch up the view for you, just so you can see a little bit more of Son Matias Beach, and to let you know if you're on holiday over here at the moment in Mallorca, or you are coming into Mallorca this weekend, bear in mind that we're going to be seeing quite possibly some of the biggest renovation works that we've seen in recent times over in Palma. They're going to be removing the bridges on the Paseo Maritimo on the port side, so where the cruise ships come in, and also a little bit further down the Paseo Maritimo as well. That is going to be taking place on February the 22nd between 8 AM and 11 AM. And special authorisation has been given for excessive noise too. It's going to be loud, it's going to be noisy, but most importantly, traffic restrictions will be in place. And this is going to return to normal the following Monday. So if you are travelling in to Palma, watch out for the detours on the bus, watch out for the bus routes as well, and maybe just give that side of Palma a miss if you are hoping to go in. Okay, so finally I've got a weather forecast for the week ahead. Now you can see the amazing blue skies behind me, and we've got good news if you're coming over this week, because we are going to have highs of 22 degrees Celsius, making it feel more like late March, early April than actually February. So if you are coming over, I'm going to tell you still bring layers. Daytime is going to be lovely, but the wind is a little bit fresh. I do have my coat in the bag, and actually I arrived to Palma Nova wearing a coat. However, I have seen plenty of holiday makers over here in shorts and t-shirts and looking very summery too. I'm not one of them though, so us locals are still finding it a little bit chilly. In the sunshine, it's still possible to go to the beach. I've seen plenty of sunbathers, I've seen swimmers today too, so it's absolutely fantastic weather. We could have a few showers coming into the weekend though, so just keep an eye on that weather forecast. It could all change. Anyway, I'm going to drop a couple of videos both here and here on YouTube that you could also find interesting too. Don't forget, you can find me in the Facebook group and on my Instagram, also called Mallorca Under the Sun, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Goodbye for now.